We live in an age where every voice can be heard. Social media is the most profound, essential tool for democracy we have ever known. Welcome to Fluent Talk.
And welcome to the age of algorithmic chaos, Mr. Idealist. To our listeners, your ability to filter authentic discourse from the noise is critical today. Focus on catching the subtle technical vocabulary.
If terms like digital citizenship or freedom of speech excite you, but you struggle with the rapid dialogue, please use the rewind button liberally. Listen for the subtle shifts in cadence and tone. It helps decode the technical meaning.
Let's begin. I state clearly, social media is fundamentally flawed. It is a weapon of misinformation that poses a direct threat to the integrity of free elections and promotes algorithmic bias.
But it is an essential tool for grassroots organization. It provides immediate access to freedom of speech for those who were previously ignored. It fosters true digital citizenship.
You're mistaking volume for validity, Mr. Idealist. We need to talk about the majority of content that is now foreign state-sponsored propaganda. It's designed for political influence, not honest debate.
Well, perhaps we can improve media literacy. The benefit to open discourse alone justifies the logistical challenge.
Improve media literacy is a decades-long project. We need solutions now.
The tool itself forces us to be more discerning. That's progress.
Or more polarized. There's a fine line.
Social media is an essential tool. It democratizes information, allowing small movements to gain traction and holding the powerful instantly accountable. It's the ultimate check on corporate and government overreach.
But that's only the surface. The entire system is controlled by algorithmic bias. The systems choose what you see based on what makes them money, not what is true or important. That is antithetical to democracy.
Then we must push for transparency in those algorithms. The alternative is a return to an era where three massive media companies controlled all the information, which is far worse for freedom of speech.
The algorithmic bias? Can you define precisely how that term is measured in the context of digital platforms?
I'm happy to clarify. Algorithmic bias occurs when an automated system exhibits unfair or systemic prejudice, in this case by prioritizing emotionally charged, divisive, or misleading content because it generates more engagement, clicks, and revenue than neutral, factual reporting.
I understand the theory, but in reality, that bias turns the platform into a massive weapon of misinformation that we cannot control.
The price of uncontrolled information is always freedom, Ms. Realist.
But at what cost to truth?
Truth always finds a way, given enough voices.
Through endless shouting?
Sometimes, yes. That's democracy.
Look. We must protect ourselves from the weapon of misinformation. The sheer velocity and scale at which completely untrue claims are spread is destabilizing whole nations.
But economic growth built on tired, miserable people is unsustainable. That is the price of freedom of speech. Do you want a government or a corporation to decide what is true for all of us? The platform itself is an essential tool for challenging established narratives.
But this is a false comparison. There is no freedom of speech when a foreign entity is using sophisticated tactics to confuse and manipulate voters. That is active subversion.
I must interrupt. You use the term weapon of misinformation. What does that term encompass when we discuss democracy and elections? Like, what are the critical threats?
A weapon of misinformation refers to the coordinated use of digital platforms to disseminate false or intentionally misleading information, often anonymously or via deepfakes. This weapon system is used to suppress voter turnout, change election outcomes, and erode public trust in institutions, which is a key threat to democracy.
But the public must be trusted to discern the truth. The exposure to diverse, dissenting voices made possible by this essential tool makes us stronger in the long run.
Trusting the public is irrelevant if the platforms are financially incentivized to show them lies.
Then we regulate the platforms, not the speech.
Easier said than done when they are global entities.
But it is still possible. We have to try.
And while we try, democracy erodes.
The fundamental gain is in developing digital citizenship. People are learning to interact, debate, and advocate for policy in real time, holding elected officials accountable every minute of the day.
But you are ignoring that all this engagement is purely surface level and easily manipulated. It's all about chasing clicks, not real change. This creates highly toxic political influence.
But I believe that the platforms offer an unprecedented level of access to politicians, increasing transparency and creating true digital citizenship.
Hold on, Mr. Idealist. You use the term political influence. What does that term specifically mean in the context of these platforms? Like, what is the practical goal?
The goal of digital citizenship is to create citizens who are educated, ethical, and responsible users of technology, contributing positively to online and offline society. This is the only way to counter the negative political influence.
A nice concept, but unless that citizenship can stop the widespread use of algorithmic bias and the weapon of misinformation, it is simply not effective on a national scale.
The moral obligation is to protect the public square, not shut it down.
Protecting it from what? From itself?
From those who would corrupt it.
And who decides who those are? The platforms?
No, the citizens with proper education.
The biggest threat is the global reach and lack of regulation. Social media platforms can destabilize entire regions with their lack of moderation, making them an effective weapon of misinformation for hostile foreign actors.
But the global reach is a strength. It unites activists across borders, exposing human rights abuses. This is the highest use of this essential tool. You are assuming the worst outcomes.
I'm assuming the realistic outcomes. How do we legally prosecute an anonymous bot network operating in another country that is specifically designed to suppress turnout in a local U.S. election?
You have mentioned freedom of speech several times. What does it mean for a platform to uphold freedom of speech when they are the ones who control the algorithm?
Upholding freedom of speech on a privately owned platform is a near impossible challenge. If they moderate too much, they violate free expression. If they moderate too little, they allow the platform to become a weapon of misinformation, often driven by their own algorithmic bias. The key is to demand neutrality, which they rarely provide.
The key is to teach digital citizenship and embrace the power of this essential tool.
You always return to idealism, Mr. Idealist.
And you always return to fear, Ms. Realist.
It's not fear, it's caution. It's experience.
It's also stagnation. We must evolve.
The answer lies in the hybrid solution. We need tough regulation, yes, but we also need to embrace the power of the platform as an essential tool. The key is not censorship, but better literacy and transparency.
But your hybrid solution doesn't solve the fact that the platform's core revenue model is based on highly engaging, often false or extreme content. This ensures continued algorithmic bias.
We must force the model to change. The gains in freedom of speech and true digital citizenship are too significant to simply shut down the entire system.
You assume that connection equals goodness. This platform has accelerated division and made every minor disagreement a source of national crisis. This is a powerful form of negative political influence.
I concede that division is a current risk, but the platform remains the ultimate essential tool for organizing a democratic response.
I remain convinced that this platform is primarily a weapon of misinformation that we cannot afford to trust.
So we abandon it? That's surrender.
No, that's damage control.
But at what cost to progress?
At the cost of saving democracy from itself.
My conclusion? Social media is an essential tool for the future of democratic activism.
But it's driven by algorithmic bias. That makes it fundamentally unstable.
It protects freedom of speech and encourages better digital citizenship.
It acts as a massive weapon of misinformation, causing extreme political influence.
We must use the platform to fight the darkness. It is the new public square.
The square is filled with automated lies. The cost is too high.
Embrace the potential for good. It connects the world.
It's tearing the world apart. Be careful what you click.
I urge everyone to use this essential tool for freedom.
I urge everyone to log off before the lies spreads.
The conversation must continue.
But with whom and to what end?
For truth, for progress. And what an incredibly passionate, relevant debate. The question of our digital lives is the question of democracy itself.
I, Miss Realist, focused on the severe threats posed by algorithmic bias and the platform acting as a weapon of misinformation that facilitates dangerous political influence.
While I, Mr. Idealist, presented the powerful case for the platform as an essential tool for genuine freedom of speech and the development of responsible digital citizenship.
Fantastic work, listeners. If you tracked the complex terminology, followed the philosophical arguments, and felt the intensity of the exchange, your advanced English listening skills are ready to analyze the news.
If any of the concepts felt too fast, remember our most crucial tip. Listen to the tone. Was I optimistic? Was she cynical? The tone guides you through the technical vocabulary. Pause, listen, and repeat. Please like and subscribe to Fluent Talk.
Join us next time for EP 27, where we will dive into a crucial discussion on artificial intelligence and the future of creativity. Is AI a partner for human artists or a threat to original thought?
That promises to be a truly existential discussion. Thank you for challenging your English skills with us today.
Goodbye and stay critical of the algorithm.